When life gets unpredictable, preparation matters. In medicine, it's all about staying alert, ready for whatever comes through the door. On the road, it's no different. That's why Volvo designs vehicles to help anticipate risk, reduce harm, and protect lives. The Volvo XC90's advanced safety systems inspire confident decisions wherever the road takes you. The Volvo XC90, for life. Proud sponsor of the Pit Podcast. Learn more at volvocars.ca/safety.
Well, we had a provincial budget this week, right? Tuesday, Eric Girard, finance minister, giving out his budget, announcing the budget for Quebec. And there are a lot of people that were not enthusiastic about what came out of Quebec City. And let me tell you something. The mayor of Montreal, chief among the detractors of the Quebec budget. She was pretty direct and to the point, saying that this budget doesn't meet the needs, the demands expressed by the City of Montreal and the entire region of the metropolis of Montreal, saying that urgent investments are needed in housing to ensure economic dynamism and also to support families and vulnerable populations in the city of Montreal. Let's find out more about what the city says on this week's provincial budget. Joining us now, Despina Sourias, city councillor in the Loyola district of Cote Neiges-NDG. Despina, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, Elias.
So,
nice to talk to you again.
Yeah, it was great to talk to you again. And of course, the mayor has been pretty direct and to the point about what she thinks of this budget. Why don't you add to that? Why do you also believe that this was a swing and a miss for the provincial government?
Of course, it was a big miss. We made two very clear asks. The asks were to invest more in housing and in public transportation, and they fell short on both. I would say on both. We're going through a housing crisis. The budget does not reflect an answer to that housing crisis. We had asked for specific investments to be put into projects that we already have in terms of social housing. We had asked for $350 million, and the budget only presents $191 million. So it really falls short on that level. The answers that they have are not providing long-term solutions on how we're going to resolve the crisis that is scourging the city. So not very happy about that. And in terms of the public transportation budget, there is an investment of $400 million. But again, there's no long-term solution to what we want to build more public transport. We want to enhance the public transport that we have, and it's not there. Of course, there's going to be some consultations by the Ministre Guilbeault around solutions around public transport. But both of these, housing and public transportation, are both issues that support economic development, support the quality of life of our residents, get people out of difficult situations, meaning poverty, and really do, fight climate change when we talk about public transportation,
Let's go through those 2 points, Despina, here. We'll start off with housing and we'll end up in transport, right? So, it sounds like the City of Montreal and the mayor and yourself, you're asking, you want the government, more money for the government to build more housing. And you know what? To be honest, when I look around the world at the places where it's worse the worst places in the world to live, it's where the government builds houses. And it's where developers, and there's a free economy where developers can build what they want. Those are usually the best places to live. So I'm curious as to why a solution here has to be more government money for the government to build more homes. Meanwhile, the administration of the City of Montreal has created a situation with so many rules and regulations that developers don't even want to touch and build at the old Bluebonnet site. And that's in your borough, Cote Neiges-NDG. So do we have to put the blame on the government, or should you look from within at the City of Montreal to say, well, how do we make it?
We have looked from within. We have task forces in place. We have the cellule facilitatrice to allow these bigger projects to come together, and it brings all the actors around the table to find the solutions. But governments do have a role in circumventing speculation, which increases both property values and rental values, and makes it inaccessible for people to live affordably and sustainably in the city. So there is a role in government in securing the market in that sense, to secure the real real estate, the rental real estate housing stock. So there is a role for the government to play in that. And historically, it's the provincial government. It is the provincial government's role to play, to act at that level. So yes, there is a role for us to play. Promoters and developers are sitting around the table with us to find the solutions. We're not working on it alone, but we do need to have mixed neighborhoods. We need to keep families in the city. So it's imperative for government to play a role around this issue and not wash our hands of it. So we're playing our role. We're working with our partners. Now we want the provincial government to sit around that table and to also provide support in order for us to continue working on this issue, which obviously grew. On public pandemic and all that. So.
On public transit, obviously you wanted more money there. I know public transit authorities around the world are clamoring for more funds in light of what happened over the last 2 years and, people not going to downtowns. But it's not lost on me that, you fulfilled a campaign promise. You made transit free for seniors. It's going to start in July. That took away, $78 million worth of funding from public transit by doing that, by making public transit free. And it was $28 a month, by the way, for seniors up until July of this year. It's $28 a month. So do you find it interesting? You're asking for more money when you've made decisions that starve public transit of money?
Well, we're also making it accessible to people who are vulnerable. So we're also providing a solution to the population. In terms of, again, a lot of the money that goes into public transport comes from the provincial government. It is a shared role. The big investments do come from the provincial government. And also if you want to build more infrastructure and to reach areas that do not have public transport, accessible public transport, where it could take you 2 hours to get to downtown through public transport. This is where the government, the provincial government plays a key role. And this is not just us talking about it. It's all the other cities that would like to see their public transportation extend. And again, it's a way of creating better economic development locally, creating mobility options other than the car for people, and it creates vitality and quality of life in neighborhoods to have these options. So for us, it's key to be able to do that, and we are looking at vulnerable population to use public transportation because it's an easier means, financially for them to get around. So.
Despina, before I let you go, I want to get to the something that I think you're passionate about, that you're involved with, the Baby Box Project. Can you tell us what that is?
Yes, this is. I'm really, really happy about this. The Baby Box is essentially a welcoming gift for babies and their families, and it's meant to strengthen their bond between as a community, but also to strengthen their bond to the city. And as a mom myself, I became a mom a few years ago. I discovered how important the city is in my day-to-day life through their programming, through the infrastructures that we built. So I think it's a way for us to get closer to families. We're still working on what's going to be inside the box. We've talked to partners. We're working on the concept and all the logistics, and it's a big project. But I'm very excited about it because I feel like it's really going to be a great way of connecting to families and really, from the get-go, giving them something to feel proud about as Montrealers.
Can our listeners get involved in this Baby Box project?
Well, for now, we're working on it internally. There have been some we've done some work with families last year. We kind of started thinking about it. But right now, once it's available, listeners could definitely. We're going to be announcing it, and they're going to know where to get it and all the how-tos, and when it's ready. But
okay.
I'm really excited about it. It's a really beautiful project.
Well, let's get an update from you when it launches. Okay, thanks.
Definitely.
Thanks for coming on this morning, Despina. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Take
care.
Despina Sourias, City Councillor in the Loyola district of Cote Neiges-NDG.